When did humans first discover God? This sounds like a simple question, but the answer is not simple at all, because humans did not discover God like they discovered fire, tools, or farming. There was no one exact day where someone shouted, "Guys, I found God!" Instead, the idea of God grew slowly from something very human: fear, death, dreams, nature, luck, and the need to explain things that made no sense. So in this video, we are not judging any religion. We are asking a historical question. How did ancient humans first start believing that something invisible might be behind the world? And to understand that, we have to follow clues. Because prehistoric humans did not leave books explaining their beliefs. They left burials, cave paintings, ritual objects, sacred places, and later, written stories about gods. The first clue is death. For ancient humans, death was the biggest mystery. One day, a person is talking, laughing, hunting, eating. The next day, the body is still there, but the person is gone. No voice, no movement, no warmth. Today, we explain death through biology, but ancient humans did not have that explanation. So they may have asked a different kind of question. Maybe something left the body. Maybe the person still exists somewhere. Maybe ancestors can watch us. Maybe dreams are not just dreams. This is one major theory about early belief. Some scholars think humans may have developed the idea of spirits because of two powerful experiences: death and dreams. Imagine someone you love dies. Then a few nights later, you see them in a dream. They talk to you. They look alive. For us, it is a dream. For an ancient human, it may have felt like a visit. That one experience could make people think, maybe the dead are not completely gone. And once humans believed in spirits, the next step was bigger. If humans have spirits, maybe animals have spirits. Maybe rivers have spirits. Maybe trees, mountains, storms, and the sky also have hidden forces. This kind of belief is often called animism, the idea that the world is full of spiritual life. But here is the important point. We should not imagine that every person in the group believed blindly. Ancient humans were not robots. They were humans like us. Some people may have believed strongly. Some may have followed because the group followed. Some may have doubted quietly. Some may have argued. One person may have said, "The ancestor helped us in the hunt." Another person may have said, "No, we were just lucky." One person may have believed a storm was a warning. Another may have thought, "It is just the sky making noise." We cannot prove these exact arguments happened, but we can say this honestly. In any human group, people react differently. Belief probably did not grow because everyone agreed instantly. It grew because rituals made people feel safe, connected, and in control. Before a hunt, a group may dance. If the hunt succeeds, they remember the dance. Before rain, a group may perform a ritual. If rain comes, they repeat it next time. Near a grave, people may leave objects. If that gives comfort, the tradition continues. This is how simple actions can slowly become sacred. Not because ancient people were foolish, because humans hate randomness. When something good happens, we search for a reason. When something bad happens, we search for a warning. When someone dies, we search for meaning. And when life is dangerous, meaning becomes powerful. The second clue is nature. Ancient humans lived inside nature, not above it. A river was not just water, it decided survival. Rain was not just weather, it decided food. Fire was not just heat, it protected them from darkness and wild animals. A lion was not just an animal, it was danger. A bison was not just meat, it was life. So ancient humans began treating nature with fear and respect. This may be why animals appear so strongly in prehistoric cave art. In places like Lascaux in France, cave walls are filled with animals, signs, and rare human figures. Experts still debate the exact meaning. Some think it was storytelling. Some think it was hunting magic. Some think it had ritual or spiritual meaning. The honest answer is, we do not fully know. But one thing is clear. Humans were turning the world into symbols. An animal was not only an animal. A grave was not only a grave. A storm was not only a storm. The world started to feel full of hidden meaning. The third clue is sacred places. Before modern places of worship existed, humans may have gathered at special natural places: caves, burial grounds, mountains, rivers, fire circles. Later, they built ritual sites. One famous example is Göbekli Tepe in modern-day Turkey. It was built thousands of years before many famous ancient civilizations. It had huge stone pillars and animal carvings, and it was likely used for social gatherings and rituals. This matters because it shows something big. Belief was not just private imagination. It could bring people together. It could organize work. It could create rules. It could turn a group into a community. This is another major opinion about religion. Some scholars believe religion was not only about explaining mystery, it was also about uniting people. A shared belief gives a group identity. A shared ritual gives people trust. A shared sacred story makes people feel they belong to something bigger. Then, farming changed everything. When humans began growing crops, nature became even more important. The sun, rain, rivers, soil, and seasons decided whether people lived comfortably or suffered. So sacred powers became connected to harvest, fertility, storms, rivers, birth, death, and protection. Across the world, different cultures developed different beliefs. In Egypt, the sun and Nile became deeply important. In Mesopotamia, cities had gods connected with them. In many ancient cultures, ancestors, animals, stars, mountains, and natural forces became part of sacred life. Slowly, spirits became gods. Rituals became organized religion. Sacred places became temples, shrines, churches, mosques, synagogues, and other places of worship in different cultures. Stories became traditions. Traditions became civilizations. So, when did humans discover God? The most accurate answer is, humans did not discover God in one moment. The idea grew slowly as humans tried to explain death, dreams, nature, luck, fear, and survival. And did everyone believe blindly? Probably not. Some believed deeply, some doubted, some followed the group, some questioned, some used belief for comfort, some used it for leadership, some used it to explain what nobody could explain yet. That is what makes this story interesting. Belief was not just fear. It was also hope. It was grief. It was imagination. It was community. It was humans trying to make sense of a world that felt too big, too dangerous, and too mysterious. Maybe the first idea of God did not begin with a giant temple. Maybe it began when one human looked at death and thought, maybe this is not the end. Maybe it began when someone saw a dead relative in a dream. Maybe it began when a storm destroyed everything, and people felt that nature was speaking. Or maybe it began when a group realized that believing together made them stronger together. Whatever the exact beginning was, one thing is clear. Humans did not just survive the world, they tried to understand it. And from that need to understand, belief was born.